Before we watch the unveiling, let's go through some of the facts of the 2020 Ducati Streetfighter V4. There have been few motorcycles as eagerly awaited in recent times as the Ducati Streetfighter V4. Based heavily on the Panigale V4, the Streetfighter will come in two models, a $19,995 MSRP base and an US spec $23,995 MSRP Streetfighter S that packs electronic Öhlins running Ducati's DES Evo algorithm and forged aluminum wheels. Powering both Streetfighters will be the same 1103cc Stradale V4 that's found in the Panigale V4, with Ducati claiming an eye-watering 208 horsepower, pushing a claimed 438-pound curb weight, which puts it right at the top of the naked bike power tree. Now let's take a look at the unveiling of this amazing motorcycle.
Panigale V4 S 2020, the science of speed. Now, I think our guys did something absolutely excellent, if you will, or even unprecedented. And this is but the beginning. This is just the beginning, you know. This is the real beginning of what is happening to us. So, once again, well, for the sports world, we are now developing so much new knowledge, if you will. And it's great to have all of these, things together, and we can do this directly on our bikes for our customers. So, okay, let's get to the last, let's say, universe I want to show you today. High-performance naked bikes. Once again, this is another very important part of our brand. We started with our Monster. So the most performing engine that we have installed onto our Monster, which is our top-of-the-range naked bike. And then Streetfighter 1098. Now, in that case, it was the most, if you will, sporty bike we had. So we have totally changed, the concept of the bike, because, of course, we turned it into a naked. We did exactly the same thing here. So we decided to build the so-called FF, so the 5 formula. 5 formula means that taking the number one, the top engine we have, the Desmo 16 Stradale. I will tell you why the Biplane Wings are so important for the bike, plus the electronic suite, reduced weight, 178 kilos dry weight, high handlebar, typical of naked bars. We removed the fairing, and we have 208 HP. This is the power. This is pure adrenaline, and this is what I mean by adrenaline. Panigale V4 Streetfighter. So once again, back to red, our favorite color. This is the real dark red we all like. Now, this is a naked bike. You know that it is characterized first and foremost by the, let's say, front look or appearance, right? So the beauty of a naked bike is basically the front part, right? So you don't have the fairing, you have chassis. So in a way, you have to sort of give a very special shape to the face of the bike. And this is what our designer did, the Joker. Can you see this? I think that the Joker is really an extraordinary, a person, sort of very unique, if you will, typical features in the attitude of, of a face, so porty. And don't forget that on the front part, we have to have, the headlamp and the light and technical components. So this is the final result. This is a picture of the real final bike. This is the result of our styling department. I think this is extraordinary. We are glad, so happy of this result. In some cases we are a little bit less happy of the bikes we make, and it's difficult. We have high expectations on the design level, but I'm sure, I'm sure you will confirm this. So many beautiful details, top care, so sophisticated. I know this is a small component, right? small fairing, the light headlight fairing, but this is perfect, so beautiful that the entire bike is also beautiful. In terms of chassis, we have the typical rolling chassis here in the Panigale V4. As I said during the 5 formula, we have installed the Biplane Wings. So why are they so important on a sports naked bike? I mean, maybe some of you may be skeptical, right? Well, there's something magic in aerodynamics. Aerodynamics is so important to stabilize the bike. The top performing bikes, let's say, suffer a lot in terms of stability at high speed. If you have fairing, of course, the rider is protected, so basically aerodynamics is smaller. If you have an open, so no fairing bikes, this may be a problem. If it's 120 HP only, no problem. But if you exceed 200 HP, the problem may be a big one. So you have two options, maybe no fairing, very stable bike. In this case, we may want to, if you will, opening the steering angle, you may want to have a longer, swing arm. But in this case, the maneuverability is not very high. So in order to do this, we can, add a new aerodynamics concept, and this is why we have re-engineered aerodynamics on this product. It was so difficult. I mean, finding the right balance was very difficult. It has taken months, maybe years, before finding the right balance. We want to have a top performance, for example, in a mountain road, but at the same time, we want top stability. Don't forget, we have 28 kilos of downforce at 270 kilometers an hour. Very similar to the 30 kilos we talked about before. Now, the bike is based on the 16 stradale, so the road use engine. This is a takedown from the MotoGP engine. In this setup, we have 208 HP. In the magic formula, some people criticized what we have done. So, of course, we listened to everyone. People said, well, the engine is 208 HP, so you won't have, so it's a setup which is not good for a road-used bike. Well, wait a second. Let's make a couple of comparisons and let's compare figures, okay? Okay, this is comparison number one. This is the torque that we have versus Panigale V4. So look at this. Now, because the final ratio is smaller, now it is less effective in terms of aerodynamics. It is a little slower. So in third speed, you have plus 14%, let's say, thrust if you drive 100 kilometers an hour. This is even more interesting. This is comparison number two. If you know Streetfighter, 1098, well, in this case, you have very low revs. Once again, third speed, 100 kilometers an hour, you do 31% better. So once again, in third speed, the total thrust I have, I mean, the acceleration I get is plus 31% at 100 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour, more or less. The bike can come with an extraordinary quantity of accessories. You have just some here. You have plenty of accessories for racing tracks. There will be a beautiful final video with Alessandro. The bike is so performing, even if, well, you don't know exactly the bike, I'm sure that you will have fun with different kinds of racing tracks, okay? So you have the so-called slip-on technologies or, exhaust, or even the complete exhaust. Can you see here the extraordinary improvement in terms of performances? So up to 220 HP and an incredible weight reduction, minus 6 kilos with the complete system. This bike is a road bike, okay? So ergonomics is very comfortable, not just in terms of the, hand grips, but also the footrests, okay? So no cramps. And we have re-engineered the seat. This is the 60 millimeters of foam that we have used to make sure the seat is as comfortable as possible. Once again, we also have a reasonable comfort for the passenger. Of course, this is not a 100% comfortable bike, of course, but it is much more comfortable than the sports one. You also have the safe performance package I talked about before, SPP, and of course it comes in two versions, S and Standard. The difference is, well, in the S version you have the Erlins, so you have the rear suspensions, the swing arm, and then you have the forged rims. This is, a beautiful component made in aluminum. Okay, very short recap of our of the key figures, if you will, of our Streetfighter V4. 208 HP, 178 kilos dry weight. Now, this is what we have done in the previous presentations. Let me tell you exactly what this means, okay? Because I don't want you to think that this is too theoretical. For example, if you read, some, magazines, and if you check what our competitors do, for example, if you calculate the weight-power ratio, which turns basically into acceleration or adrenaline, well, you can see the positioning of Streetfighter V4. We are 25% better than competitor number one. And once again, the best competitor on the market today is lagging behind, and we have a 25% advantage. Can you imagine, the emotions and the adrenaline that you can feel by riding this product? We have plenty of new accessories. Magnesium rims are so beautiful and very effective. You have to try them, and if you do so, you really feel the change of, let's say, maneuverability. It's not a question of weight, but it is the inertia, momentum of the rims. The version you can see here is standard. If you equip it with all of these components, it turns into a wonderful object. This is a top performance and naked bike. It is very comfortable on the road. Now, we carry out the road tests once a month, so we test all the prototypes. 1 year ago, we were very unhappy of the results we obtained. We were in Sardinia, December 2018. We tested the most updated version, and I flew, back to Bologna. I was very worried, and now we totally changed the situation. It has taken 1 year of hard work, and in the last tests we've carried out, you can really feel, you touch a product which is totally different, top performing. It is also a beautiful bike. It's very eye-catching downtown. So it talks about, the owner of the bike. You don't have to hide it when you go downtown. We have some of our friends from Lamborghini here. And I think that you can see, both Italian jewels, Ducati and Lamborghini right here in one of the cafes in the center of Bologna. A beautiful product you can use every day, not just on a racing track. Small recap of the entire range. So once again, Streetfighter V4. It comes at 19,990 euros. And then you have the Streetfighter S that you can purchase for 22,990. In terms of availability, you have to be a little more patient because we are finalizing, the production equipment. In Italy, you will purchase it March 2020. So as soon as the snow melts, you stop skiing and you will start enjoying your Streetfighter V4.